Every time I try to take a video.
We gather around Taino and company, the talk's profound. Lama Stations where the vibes ignite. Every Monday at 7, let's take flight. Let's get this party started.
Say that again.
Taino and company.
Hey, hello, Lama Nation.
Starry skies as the evening glows. Dancing and laughing, feel the energy rise. At Lama Station, we reach for the skies.
In Spanish, we're Harlistas. In English, we're Holly Riders. Bikers are at one with nature. We ride in the heat, we ride in the cold, we ride in the rain, we ride in hail, and beat the hell out of them.
Go.
Yeah. Is Lama in the building or what? Latin American Motorcycle Association, put your hands up, make some noise for your boy. Kenny Black, the music machine.
What up, Rob?
DJ Rala, Lama on the Lama. You already know Mr. Northeast is in the building. Let's go, Lama. What? Put them hands up. I wanna see L's in the air right now. Put your L's up. Put your L's up. Lama worldwide. Lama worldwide. Let's go. L's up. L's up. Everybody L's up. L's up. L's up. Everybody L's up. Lama. Let's go. Yeah. Come on. Let's go. From the humble start and humble pause. 1977 it all began. What? One man, one mission, one dream. That's right. Lama International worldwide. They said it couldn't happen. They said it couldn't be done. 40 years later, we still proving y'all wrong. Latino, Lama.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. I am on the show all by myself. Taino left me alone tonight. He is in Germany with all the national officers and the international officers and all the chapters worldwide, and they left me here. They didn't take me with them, but I'm here with you guys tonight. So, of course, my girl, Sir Gail, has to be the first one to comment. But before we go to all her comments, because we know she has a lot to say, we're gonna show you how you can reach us. Here we are. You can reach us through Facebook.com/The Lama Station. You can reach us through Instagram. You can reach us on YouTube. You can also call us on WhatsApp. It's +1 407 516 3402. So, guys, Germany, I think they're ahead of us for a few hours. So Taino's not even watching the show. So you're all free to make all your comments and say anything you want, because Taino is nowhere to be found. He left us alone tonight. So it's our show, people. Tonight we have some guests. I will bring them on in a few minutes, but I just want to give the shout outs, of course, because, Miss Sir Gail, here she is, Lama Middletown. Here we are on the road. Hey, everyone. Here's Desiree from Lama Kingsburg. Hello. Good night, family. I think he means good evening, but we understand what he's saying. Hello, Hillary. She's what? Listen, I'm not even going to pronounce that one. Hello, Miss Adriana. Adriana is in Costa Rica with her choir, and I think she's due back, I guess, next weekend. But hello to you. She is our Lama Youth reporter from Lama Poconos. So, guys, do what we always do every week. Share the show, share it on Facebook, share it on YouTube, share it on WhatsApp, share with your friends. And remember that now you can buy little stars on the bottom of your screen. You'll see little stars that you can buy. And share to Lama Station. I'm going to bring our guests on. We have some special guests today talking about some motorcycle safety. So here we have, hey.
Hello.
That's from the Motorcycle Safety Lawyers. How are you?
Not bad. How about you? How about you? Staying cool?
Oh, I rode to work today. What a mistake that was.
Oh, my Lord. Well, the girls are in the house tonight, so things should run really, really smooth.
Nice. So we have another guest on. We're going to bring her on also. Miss Heather Johnston, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm better now that I'm finally cooled off at home.
Right? I hear that for sure. It's like 104 here with the heat index. So yeah, I hear you.
I think we got up to like 97 here in the Poconos, but It was hot. Riding home, even moving, the wind was hot.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yes, yes. And so we have a good show coming up. We're going to talk about motorcycle insurance and all the differences. We're going to
Hmm.
do some questions and answers, correct?
Yeah,
Heather, why don't you
absolutely.
tell us a little bit about yourself and your company and what you do for us bikers and how you take
Yeah.
care of us bikers.
Absolutely, Miss Albie. Thank you so much, first of all, for having me here. So, my name's Heather, and I'm a fellow motorcycle rider. I was director of Lakeshore Hog in Libertyville, Illinois, for several years. And I have been riding since 2015, and I am an insurance agent with Allstate, a licensed exclusive agent with Allstate in Illinois and Wisconsin. So I'm really big. Larry here as well. We've known each other a long time. He's really big on the safety. So we kind of handle two different components. I'm specifically with the insurance part of it, making sure my number one goal is that riders understand what their coverages are and how they're protected, and identify potential gaps in their insurance so that they know what they're paying for and know what it means, should they ever have to use it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Mr. Larry, aka Bear,
Hello, hello.
why don't you reintroduce yourself? Because we
Oh
already know
my
you.
Lord!
But
Like
go ahead and
nobody knows who I
reintroduce yourself.
am. Come on. I'm with Motorcycle Safety Lawyers. You guys have seen us at many different events. We help sponsor as many of the different chapters as we possibly can across the United States. Our goal is to educate riders. My main thing is that I am an instructor for accident scene management. So I do courses on what you would do in the event that you have an accident and what are the proper steps to take to ensure the accident scene or help take care of the individual. I teach accident scene management courses across the United States. And I'm also a Lama member.
Yes, you are.
Yes, I am. So I'm part of the family.
Yes,
So
you are.
yes, it's just that me and my wife, Jeannie, we enjoy what we do. We want to be known as the couple that give back. And we've done that our
I
whole
think
life.
you've done that like tenfold because you have
Well,
supported
if you talk to
so many
Heather,
characters. Yes.
yeah.
I saw everything you did at National and how much you supported the National Board, and that you have done an amazing job. Thank you for everything that you've done so far.
But
Thank
can I tell you something? It's because of the motorcycle community, I'm able to do so much more. I've done everything from curing kids' cancer to building bikes for veterans to taking care of children. You know what I mean? My chapter has supported me. And remember, we collected all those sloths,
Yes.
Heather?
Yeah,
And then
I do.
when I needed to go to Mayfield, Kentucky, my chapter brought a caravan of cars and stuff and brought me donations. I mean,
Nice.
without the motorcycle community standing with me, I wouldn't be able to do an eighth of what I do. But I'd also be lost without my wife because I'm blessed. Seriously.
I know. You need that significant other by your side, supporting you and taking care of you all the way. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But this young lady here, I've known for many, many years. And our biggest problem right now is that I deal with the day-to-day family members that are left after an accident. And I, time and time again, they were said, well, I had full coverage. And I keep trying to explain, well, $20,000 is not full coverage. You know what I mean?
Correct.
I just figured, hey, let's bring somebody online that knows the ins and outs, can tell people, you know what I mean? You know what you should look for, what you might need to do. And this doesn't mean that people need to go to Allstate or to Geico or Progressive or whatever. You know what I mean? My goal is to get people online here that can educate all the riders.
Give them the knowledge.
Yes.
Correct.
And that's why Heather's here.
As you know, we did have a fatality right after National on the way home. One of our presidents had a fatality on the way home. So I'm sure that her family would love to hear and understand. If they have questions, I'm sure if her chapter is listening and they have some open-ended questions, I'm sure that they would love to know and understand better what they're qualified for and what they're entitled to.
Well,
So
Albie, just so you know, we handled Claudia's case.
I remember you told me we
Yes,
spoke about
for Daisy, and I
Yes.
call Daisy every week just to see how she's doing. And
Yes,
God bless the chapters in Alabama. They were willing to go to the junkyard to get her belongings. But I
Yes.
mean, that's been handled. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And her case is actually settled.
Thank the
So
Lord.
we're helping
Thank
her
the
now so that she can get the financials, you know what I mean, that's entitled to her. But that's a situation where she only had a certain amount of coverage. You know what I mean? So,
Correct.
but that's where Heather comes in, because she knows the ins and outs.
Right. And it's not just her, it's all of us. We all have insurance. So
Yes.
we may think that, we're covered, we have full coverage, everything is good, and then come to find out we probably have like less than half than what we should be having.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So guys, everybody who's watching online, if you have any kind of questions regarding your motorcycle insurance, they're here to answer any and all questions that you guys have. So just throw them on the comments and I'll share them on the screen. I'm also OSHA certified. I'm safety. I've been doing safety for way over 35, 40 years. Not that I'm that old, but
Yeah. Okay.
You were 10 when you started.
Yes,
So
yes, I started very young. But I am OSHA certified. I have been doing safety. I've been doing workers' comp. I've been doing everything as far as safety, health, environmental, community. So I have worked on the company side. I have worked on the employee side. So I know the ins and outs of, a lot of different kinds of insurances. So I understand the importance of, of what of what you guys do. I understand it.
For sure. Awesome. Well, I thought, if it's okay, I thought I might just start with a question for everyone in the chat if they want to throw in, answers or whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So raise your hand, kind of a thing, or say yes if you know what your bodily injury limits are on your current motorcycle coverage.
All right, guys, let's see. If you know
what you have right now, you get points. If you know what you currently have.
What your bodily injury.
Mm-hmm.
What is, let's see, your bodily injury coverage.
I'm starting with a hard one.
Yeah. All right, there you go, guys. What is your bodily injury coverage? Let's see who answers. I do have a question here. He said, what extra insurance do we need to have to be covered?
That is a great question, and I can go ahead and answer it now. Kind of a brief answer. Extra
That's
coverage.
Luis, president from Lama Annapolis.
Okay, awesome. So I would recommend what we call here at our Allstate the rider protection package. That's your death indemnity, and you also can do that for your spouse. So that the rider protection provides disability. They're optional coverages. So disability income, spousal income, or your own income replacement, and death benefit in the event of a fatality. That's additional coverage. So that's something that I would definitely suggest, especially in the case I know with Claudia, rest in peace, with that situation, to leave something for your spouse behind. That's one way to do that, in addition to, separate forms, but specifically on your motorcycle insurance, that's one way to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is Jerry. He's our new associate, soon to be prospect. He said, as a new Lama associate, I'm grateful for your knowledge, sir. Sir and ma'am, because there's two of them there. But we do have a comment here for you. Lawrence gives a lot of support. We really appreciate it. Everything he does for our association. That's Lama Law in Fort Sill. See, they know who you are. They know who you are.
Yeah.
Here's Top Hat from Lama Melbourne, 321 in the house. Thank you, Bear in Vegas, for always supporting Lama Melbourne. Your loyalty, heart, and constant presence means the world to us. Brotherhood like yours keeps the wheels turning and the spirit strong. Much love and respect.
Aww.
See?
Okay, now back to the insurance.
I gotta go through them. I have to talk to you guys and to them and to you guys.
Sure.
So
Absolutely. You
Yeah.
just give me a cue when you want me. Looks like some new comments. I was just seeing if anyone commented what they have. Oh, someone says, I think I have 20K. Okay,
20K.
and so full disclaimer on this, not that you didn't already know, but when I'm talking about stuff, of course, I'm licensed in Illinois and Wisconsin. Primarily, it's going to be very comparable in every state. But here in Illinois and Wisconsin, our minimums are $25,000 per person, $50,000 per accident to be street legal. That's what you have to carry on bodily injury. And then $20,000 in property damage. Those are your automobile limits of liability and requirements. You can go up to, with Allstate, you can go up to $250,000 per person, $500,000 per accident. So I'd love to share. Bodily injury provides coverage if you are legally responsible for someone else's injuries while operating your motorcycle. So if
Like a
you are the
passenger.
one at fault,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
so your passenger, actually there is guest bodily injury coverage. Typically meets the same limits. So if you have $250,000 per person, you're going to want that same coverage for your guest in case that's the person that's injured, but also the other party or parties,
Involved, yes.
right. As we know, often there are multiple vehicles and people involved. So
Correct.
you want to have that coverage for the other parties that are not part of your motorcycle and your passenger as well.
Correct.
Um, and then property damage is as it sounds. That's for the bike itself and the other people's property. So again, motorcycle versus car, your property damage coverage is what's going to help repair the other person's car and prevent you from being potentially sued and then needing
Right, right.
legal assistance to get through that, right? So and then another part, and I know this stuff is not the most exciting to talk about, trust me, like I get it. So thank you for staying with me. But
No, we're
uninsured,
learning. We're all learning. We're all learning. Because
yeah,
look,
thank
look,
you.
look what this person just said. Can you believe Florida does not require motorcycle insurance?
Oh my gosh, I did not know that.
See,
Wow.
we're all
Wow.
learning. We're all learning.
Yeah, for
They don't
sure.
require it, but you should absolutely have it.
Right.
You absolutely should. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I always say better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Right.
So,
Correct.
and typically what you'd pay for premiums versus the cost of the expense of, legal proceedings and things that happen and or what you're left with if you don't have the coverage for yourself. It's a fraction of that. So another thing that's really important, and it's coverage that I recommend every rider have at a minimum, I would recommend of $5,000 is medical payments. That's to help offset medical expenses for you and your passenger, regardless of whose fault it is. So while, depending on a claim being settled, that may take a while, having that medical payments coverage is going to help you more quickly with, an
Right.
ambulance ride, x-rays, things like that.
Right.
So that
These
you're
are like
not
on the
fully.
spot that happened right away.
Yeah. So
Alex
uh
Alex said he's moving to Florida. He's in Queens right now. He said he's in Queens right now. He's moving to Florida.
okay. Guess I moved to Florida. Doesn't require it. Yeah.
So what
Um
if someone they have a license in Delaware, but the wife's license is in Pennsylvania? So is there like some across state or
but my insurance through my wife is Pennsylvania. So I know, at least for what I do, we depend on where the vehicle is garaged. Where is it primarily kept? That is what indicates what state should insure it. So
okay,
it really is fine wherever your license is. We care about
where
because
the book is?
where the vehicle is being kept and where it's primarily going to be used. I mean, obviously, you can go all over the country with whatever state insurance you have, but that's the rating factor, and the requirement falls to where you keep the vehicle. Yeah.
Everybody's talking to each other on the
Yeah. Florida's overrated. Got it.
yeah. Let me
Yeah.
let me click on a couple of comments here. Juanita Colon says, "Saludos, mi gente." She's saying hello to everyone. Omar, this is Cuba from Pennsauken, Penhu. We have Veronica. Hey, this is our Lama Queens reporter. She's our Lama Queens reporter. Alex from Corpus Christi says hello to everyone. Greetings from Bogota. Oh, look, we got Bogota. Lama Rockford is in the house. Let me see who else. Who else? Who else? I think I did most of these. Most of these. Most of these. Okay, I'm good. I have to go through them because they just keep talking to each other and having conversations.
Yeah,
Steve.
for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to mention about the medical payments is that at least with Allstate can be used to help offset funeral expenses. So that is something that you can use that towards as well if you need it. And so one of the other things I think people think about, they say, oh, I have full coverage. What that means in the insurance world is that you have comprehensive and collision coverage. So that's full coverage. That is for vehicle damage. The bodily injury, again, like I said, that's what's protecting you from having to pay out of pocket for being sued, in the event of somebody else's injuries. And it's also, for your own injuries in the event, for like uninsured and underinsured motorists.
So while
I
we
saw,
think it's all bundled together as a complete coverage, it's really not.
right. I mean, you have to have it is all together, but the limits of liability, that's where you have the choice. Like I said, so in Illinois and Wisconsin, it's 25,000 per person, 50,000 per accident as the minimum, and it goes up from there. 50 and 100, 100 and 300, 250 and 500. Typically, the price difference between those limits is like the cost of a Starbucks coffee. So to have that extra
I think we
coverage,
said that the one time. I think that's
yeah,
Taino's reference.
yeah.
And
I
he
mean,
uses that as his reference.
yeah, it's really not a lot. And so I'm happy to, if anyone has any questions about anything. Otherwise, I thought, uh quick quiz, does anyone know what comprehensive coverage, what does that mean for your motorcycle insurance?
It's a comprehensive
Yeah, what's comprehensive coverage?
coverage. Let's see who answers. I know someone says, is this Wayne? Let me see. Bodily 25,000, each person 50,000, each accident, comp and collision book 375 deductible.
Okay.
Sounds right?
Yeah, so your deductible, that's a good deductible. One of the ways to save, if people are interested in looking at that, I would always recommend that you don't skimp on the coverage where you can, and I can talk about some discounts. Llama, you guys get discounts for organization in almost every state. I checked with Allstate. Again, other carriers may be different, but with
Nice.
us, almost every state offers a discount for being a Llama member. You just need to tell your agent when you sign up. And if they don't know that already, just let them know that. But one of the
Albie,
ways
you should put that out in a post in
I
case
am. I'm putting it right now.
yeah, and I can tell you which states that they don't have.
I don't know if I spelled Allstate right.
Oh, ALLSTATE.
There you go.
Yep. Oh, Wayne coming in with the correct answer. Yes.
Yes.
Ding ding
There
ding.
we go.
Yeah. Nice. Yep, for sure.
Too bad we're not next to each other. We can give each other prizes like this.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Hand out prizes. Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's see what this one. Dana says, I have 250K and 500K bodily injury, 100K property on both my motorcycles, but no fault is only listed on my car policy. Is that important?
Okay. So no fault. I'm wondering if Dana means having like accident forgiveness, which or the no fault. And see, every state's a little bit different with their and every carrier, but 250 over 500, that's amazing. That's the best coverage you can get. And so kudos to you for having that. That's fantastic. You know, that's definitely the way you want to be. And $100,000 or more on property damage with the as expensive as vehicles are these days, especially, and thinking about motorcycles too. Of course, we spend a lot on those, but
Okay.
to make sure that you're covered. So
What about the
absolutely.
uninsured and yeah.
Yeah, the uninsured and underinsured motorists. Yes. And so there's both motorist coverage and property damage coverage. So motorist coverage is as it sounds. If the other person doesn't have insurance at all or doesn't have enough insurance, doesn't matter if they're driving a car or driving, riding a motorcycle, if they're at fault, this coverage is going to protect you. You want it to be the same limits as your what I call outgoing bodily injury. So if you've got 250, 500, you want your uninsured and underinsured to match that because that's what's going to pay for you in the event that the other person doesn't have enough insurance or doesn't have any insurance at all. And then the uninsured motorist property damage, that's what's going to pay for your bike if they, again, don't have anything or don't have enough.
Okay. Oh, very good.
Okay.
That's good to know. Good
Yeah.
to know.
Yeah. And then I know someone had mentioned about what their deductibles are. So that's what I was going to say. One of the ways to save on that is to go higher with the deductible. So if that's something you're kind of waffling about, like, well, can I, the coverage is important, but I need to keep the price down. One, I always recommend talk to your agent about any available discounts and review that on an annual basis. But one of the biggest ways is go a little bit higher deductible. The way I like to think of it with that is you're sharing the risk with the insurance company when you have a higher deductible. You're saying, you know what, I know I'm a good rider. I know I'm safe. I'm willing to take the risk to have that $2,000 deductible instead of the $250 deductible because that brings my premium down. So
Mhm. So Alex is asking, what about Geico? I guess he's asking about the discount.
So Geico may offer an organizational discount. I don't know for sure. I'll be honest with you. I've been with Allstate since 2013, so I really am not familiar with their I had Geico, I think, for motorcycle for a hot minute before that. My husband did, but um definitely worth asking. No matter what carrier you have, what company, State Farm, Country, what any of them, ask your agent. Um
I know
even that
they also offer discounts for when you take the motorcycle safety classes. They give you discounts for that, and I think
yeah.
if you're an AMA member, you get discounts for that as well.
Yep, depending. So, and I'm glad you mentioned that because yes, and with Allstate, every 3 years, if you take a safety course and you can provide a certificate, you can keep that discount
Right.
or get it back if you've lost it. So, um, definitely a great one. There's also other ways, different. Um, the safety course, the organization are big ones. Um, there's discounts for paying in full, discounts for setting it up on Easy Pay, discount for setting it up, what we call early signer. So if you call me and you say, hey, I need motorcycle insurance and I want you to start it 2 weeks from now because I'm going to wait out what I have right now before I switch, you get a discount for what we call early signing.
Right.
Um, and then
So,
multiple vehicles. So the more motorcycles you have on a policy, the less the cost is per motorcycle.
okay.
So
Yeah, because
um,
someone's also asking progressive. So I guess if the best bet would be to check with your policy and check with
mhm.
your
Yeah, check with your
representatives.
agent. Yep,
Hmm.
absolutely. Um, and for anyone, particularly, of course, in Illinois and Wisconsin, I will be glad to. I offer this to folks. If you want me to take a look, you want to send me a screenshot of what you have and have me give you an honest opinion on what that coverage is if I think it's appropriate or if you need to cover some gaps, I definitely am happy to do that. So
You have like an email address that we can share with them.
yeah, absolutely. I can. Do you want me to send it to you, or I mean, I can shout it out here, but
You
I'll
can
put
shout
it.
it out, and I'll type it as you shout it, and we can just share it on those
Okay,
on the comments.
awesome. So it's hjohnston1 at allstate.com. I am on Facebook and
AML,
Instagram. Oh,
right?
sorry. What's that?
hjohnson1 at
Yep.
allstate.com.
Yep. And I am on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook as Biker Barbie Insurance. So you can find me there. You can comment. You can DM me, anything like that on there as well. Happy to answer your questions.
I saw your logo for Biker Barbie Insurance.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cute.
Thanks.
That was cute. That was cute. Alex said, thanks for the info. Hopefully they have a discount with Geico. So
Yeah.
we'll find out. Maybe you can always find little perks and little discounts here and there. So you got to look for them. The insurance is
Absolutely.
not going to offer it to you, but if you mention it to them, then they're like,
Mhm.
okay, and they'll
Right.
give you a discount.
Right. And every company is definitely different. Like I know some companies do offer discounts for first responders and for those in healthcare and everything like that. Other companies don't. Allstate has definitely worked really hard in the last few years to streamline their coverages so that the rating reflects better pricing versus having 25 different discounts for every kind of insurance that we offer. But like I said, we still do offer the organization, the early signer, and those other ones. So yeah.
So Dana said, so Heather is saying to buy more motorcycles.
Yes. I am saying, but I am the worst influence. Larry can tell you. Like, I used to be around our dealership, and my husband and I would see somebody, and I'm like, "Oh, you should buy that." I'm like, "Do I get commission?" Like, no, buy the motorcycle. Yeah.
So what do you ride?
I ride a 2018 Road Glide.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So I
Yeah.
have a question, Heather. So somebody goes out and you bought your 2018 Road Glide.
Mhm.
Have you
Mhm.
added anything extra to your bike?
Great question. Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
So in the event,
He has them written down. He just doesn't want to
Uh-huh.
say them yet.
Right?
so in the event, a lot of us buy a bike, then we modify it.
Mhm.
Bigger wheels, better tour packs, whatever.
Yeah.
Do we have to let someone know, or because they're going to give us what the value of the bike was that we bought, correct?
You got it. That's absolutely correct. And I'm so glad you mentioned that. So optional equipment coverage. And again, it varies by carrier. With Allstate, we can do it in increments of $1,000. So let's say you have about $3,000 in custom, you've got saddlebags that you upgraded, you've got crash bar, sissy bar, whatever, a sound system that you put on, then you would want to add that on there because like you said, Larry, the insurance company doesn't know what you paid for that or what that's worth necessarily.
Correct.
And they are only going to pay for the value of what the bike was when you bought it. So
So every
yeah.
time you give it an upgrade, add it to the insurance.
Yeah, you definitely should. Always recommend, like I said, at least once a year. If you feel like, oh, I don't want to call them okay, well, at least once a year, close to your renewal time, then, let them know what that dollar amount is that you want to increase it to.
He says, I have accessory coverage for $3,000.
This is what we're talking about. Some places are going to call it optional equipment, upgrades. The terminology may be different. The coverage means the same thing.
Correct.
So that's good. Yeah. Yep.
That was a good question, Larry.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
I get 2 points.
Yes, you do. You do.
Yeah.
And the bell. And the bell.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I listen. I know a lot of people, once they get their bike, they're like, this is what I'm buying. A year later, this is what I now have. And they've got new handlebars and a sound system. And even the colors change sometimes. So,
Yeah.
Everyone does a little bit of an upgrade here and there. And it costs money. It costs money to upgrade the bikes.
It does. And another thing is with Allstate's motorcycle policies, if you buy a pre-owned motorcycle, whatever brand it may be, if it came from the dealer with upgrades to it, let's say the previous owner had added that, like that would be considered optional equipment. So just because you bought it like that, you want to make sure that you're accounting for those things.
Correct.
Because it's not factory original. So,
Correct.
be like, well, I bought this, 2013 and it had 5 grand of upgrade. Well, you need to tell your insurance agent that those things are on there because otherwise they have no way to know that.
Right, right. He said,
Okay.
gotta love the upgrades and how they make the bike look.
For sure. Absolutely.
What
like
does
Sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead, go ahead. What does disappearing deductible mean?
Yeah. So disappearing deductible means that for at least with Allstate, for every year that you don't have a claim on your motorcycle insurance, your deductible is going to go down. Not every company offers it. Usually there are like maximums on it. And so let's say you start out with a $500 deductible, and then after 3 years, it usually the first term is 3 years before it goes, and then it goes down to like $300, and then it's going to go down to the point where you have like a $0 or a $100 deductible.
Okay.
For no claims. So it's also called deductible rewards in some cases, but it means pretty much the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Disappearing. I never heard of that before. Disappearing.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's a few companies. Yeah. And then some other things that I think are important that, towing, who's ever had to get their bike towed for one reason or another, right?
Yes.
So with all of Allstate's motorcycle policies, a minimum
Hold on.
$50.
Wayne wants a bell.
Ah,
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
no, I love it. I love he wants the bell. Yes. So towing.
Good question. Good question.
Yeah. Per occurrence, you get $50 included, and you can increase that up to $250 for getting, having to have your bike towed. There's also optional coverages for like trip interruption, rental reimbursement, not just to rent a car. Let's say your motorcycle is your primary mode of transportation. A lot of insurance companies are going to give you money to rent a car, but they're not going to actually give you money to rent a bike. Allstate will actually, if you have the rental reimbursement on there, will pay up to $150 a day to rent a bike. So,
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That
If
gets a
you're-
bell.
Yeah. Yeah.
That gets a bell.
Right. So yeah,
Yes.
we really try to be biker friendly. Like I said, my husband and I have been customers long before I chose this career path, and so I can say that they do stand by what they do, and it's always important to take a look at your coverages and make sure that you've got maximum. If you can't quite be at the maximum, do the next step up and just, so that you're above the minimum. Obviously, Florida excluded since it's not required there, but everyone else do the step above the
I'm
minimum.
sure they have insurance regardless.
Yeah.
Look, Alex is learning. He said, I'm going to need all this information so I can interrogate his
Uh-huh.
representative.
Yeah.
He's going to call his agent tomorrow morning.
Right,
With
be
all
like,
these
"Let me-"
questions.
Yep. Absolutely.
Listen, it might make a difference. He might call and get a whole different package because of everything that he's learning.
Yeah.
Right?
And like I said, that's my goal, is just to educate, because you can't do what you don't know. And,
Exactly.
I'd rather everyone.
I'm going to check mine tomorrow.
Yeah, please do. Absolutely. And this is the time of year. And another thing, I don't know if everyone may know this or not. Your coverages are not set in stone. So just because you chose something doesn't mean you can't change it later. You have the option, I encourage you to raise the deductible if you need to, or, whatever you can to not sacrifice on the coverages, but you can change stuff. If you're like, you know what, I don't think I would want to rent a bike, or I don't think that I need that extra, towing coverage. Okay, fine. Take that down if you want to. But
right.
you can make changes.
But just don't cut short on the important ones.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you don't wanna do.
Absolutely. Yeah. for
Florida
sure.
requires insurance if you don't wear a helmet. You should always wear a helmet.
Right?
You should always wear a helmet. See, here in Pennsylvania, we're a no helmet state as well. but our
Mhm.
chapter requires it. So we always wear our helmets on our rides.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I always wear a helmet. It is obviously Illinois is not a helmet required state, but I do or I get yelled at. So
Look at Wayne's on a roll. He said 59.99 for the first 300 of your toe. I know somebody anywhere in the USA.
nice. I
Yeah.
love that.
Well, that's because of our towing package.
yeah.
Heather,
You
that
have
we
one? Yeah,
yes.
that's right.
We're $300 per incident, no cap, and they can add up to 5 bikes at $5 a bike.
Well,
Yeah.
that's way better. You definitely should go with that for sure. That's the best deal.
That's why Wayne jumped in there
Wait,
and said that.
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
that's absolutely.
Me too. Me too. Me too.
Love that.
Me too. Listen, this is good information. Everyone's soaking it in. They're gonna be calling all their agents tomorrow just to find out
Good.
what coverage they have and what they need to get, where they're gonna
Good.
upgrade it.
Well, that was the intent to this, was start to put the word out. You know what I mean? Because what's happening is when you go down, your family's left and they don't know what to do, and it's horrible. There's so much that happens. You've got rent, you've got this, you've got your kids got to go to school.
Yeah, the kids that are left behind. Yeah.
Your dog.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You're in the hospital for 2 weeks. Who's taking care of your dog? I mean, these are all costs. And
Yeah.
And when you have an accident, those are not things that you're thinking about. You know,
No.
you have so much going on, and you know your adrenaline and everything else. You know, you're not thinking about those things, and your family wants to take care of you, and they want to make sure that you're okay. They're worried about your health. They're not thinking about those things.
No.
And then by the time you come back to reality, and you're like, oh God, you know, now we have to deal with this. Sometimes it's a little bit late already. So you know, it's good to have all the information up front.
Yeah.
Definitely. 100%. And you know, a couple things I know someone commented about having an incident with their bike was 40 years old. I want to say it was
Yes, that's our associate. So he joined us as an associate for now because he's just had a small accident with his bike. So once he gets back on the road again, he'll move up to a prospect. So he had an accident with a tree stump.
Yeah.
I think the tree stump won.
Oh. So
and he said his bike was 40 years old. So the damage.
Yeah.
So it's hard to replace parts because the bike is so old. So he has a friend who gave him a different bike, or not gave him, I shouldn't say gave him, offered him for a certain amount of money, a different bike so that he can take parts off of it and rebuild his, which is what he's trying to do now. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. And that's the thing, you know, with older vehicles, finding replacement parts it is a challenge. There are also, for those that are riding bikes 1996 or older, you can look into with Allstate, it's called Haggerty. That's our custom and collectible vehicle product and company. Other carriers probably have it, like the Hartford I think has one, and others do as well. Specialty. So for those older, because it is a unique kind of coverage, especially if you do have something that's been really customized over time, you want to make sure that you're accounting for that. And in that vein of custom bikes, so just an FYI to everyone out there, insurance companies think of custom bikes as ones like we were talking about that we added parts to. They think, oh, that's a customized ride. We're thinking, right, choppers, bobbers, all of that. Newsflash. Be very mindful, for those of you who maybe are considering it and haven't experienced this already. Always check before you purchase, because if it's a salvage title, if it's a rebuilt title, if it's put in a rolling chassis. I just had a customer, he works for Harley Davidson up in Wisconsin, and I insured 5 of his 7 motorcycles, but one of them, he's like, well, it's a soft tail, but it's in this Craft Tech custom frame. I said, we can't do it. They won't do it. So luckily Haggerty could do it, but I'm like, Allstate won't. And every carrier again is different. So I'm only speaking for my, company, but I was like, "What do you mean you won't insure choppers and bobbers?" They're like, "Nope." And they'll check the VIN and they'll tell you if they will or not. So,
So
it's a quick
if
phone
they're
call.
rebuilt or right.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
And
So,
some of the guys like them because to them they're like little classics and little
yeah.
they're garage projects.
Yep,
They're
and that's
gonna
what
take them and rebuild them and yeah.
yeah, and that's this customer of mine. Like I said, he's a mechanic and that's what he does all the time. He's got multiples going at a time and everything. And so just know that it's not that you can't get insurance, but a lot of your mainstream companies, State Farm, Progressive, Allstate may not insure it. You may have to look elsewhere. So definitely worth a call to whoever your representative is and ask them first if you're considering a purchase.
Did you see what Wayne said?
What did Wayne say? I'm a 1965 model. I need some parts replaced, upgrading, or just maintaining.
No deferred maintenance.
We are talking about the bike, right, Wayne?
Yeah.
Guys,
Dana's
I'm gonna ask you for a quick minute. I need to do some promotions. So just give me a
Okay.
couple of seconds, a couple of minutes here to do some promotions. Guys, everyone is in Germany right now. They are celebrating the international rally. I've been looking through pictures and I'm very, very jealous that I'm not there. It's just the beginning tonight. Yes, this weekend is the beginning. They still have this week and next week to be there. So yeah, we're kind of jealous that we're not there. We are kind of jealous. So Lama Phillipsburg is still raffling their Viking bag. There's only 300 tickets. If you want to take it, please reach out to the chapter. Please reach out to Heather, their treasurer, and get your ticket. The drawing will be held July 4th at a barbecue that is being held on July 4th. Guys, get your tickets. Get your tickets. Support Lama Phillipsburg. This Friday night, the 27th, Lama Newark is having their fight night at the South End Cigars, 6 to 10. There will be hot dogs and empanadas, 50-50 raffles. And of course, you guys know they got the sangria going on. They've had it since last year. They had it at the Northeast Regional. So come and get your sangria at the bike night. The 27th, 6 to 10, South End Cigars. I'm going. I know I'm going to get my sangria. Saturday, Lama Queens is having a bike night. June 28th, it's at 3 p.m. at the Lama Queens Clubhouse in Ozone Park. As you guys know, Lori's the new president there now. Come out and support her. Lama Manville is on July 12th. Lama Manville is having a meeting week Friday night with a live band. They have horse race bidding for the gambling enthusiasts. Saturday morning is the ALS ride for. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read. I don't have a big screen the way Taino does. It's the second annual ride, Poppy's ride. I'm pretty sure it's Heidi's dad, if I'm not mistaken, that this ride is in memory of. So the ride is Saturday morning. Registrations at 9:30 at the VFW. In the afternoon is the Hawaiian luau for their anniversary party. They're gonna have Hawaiian dancers. So the hotel information is there. Come out Friday, spend the night, do the ride Saturday morning, and then enjoy the event Saturday afternoon at the VFW. That's Lama Manville. That same day at the Midwest is Lama Elgin. They are having their event at the Lama Chicago Clubhouse, the mother chapter. There will be food vendors, raffles. It's a $15 donation, and that is sponsored by the Motorcycle Safety Lawyers.
Go figure. We're
I
also
wonder who they are. I wonder who they are.
Yeah, we're also doing the luau.
Are you doing the luau? Which
Yeah,
luau?
and I just in.
Oh,
See
look
the
at that.
logo?
Look at the little logo down there.
Yes. So just so you have the dates correct, the luau is on July 12th,
Yes.
and
Did I say
me
12?
and Jeannie will be in Manville, and then Southwest regions having theirs the same day.
The Southwest? I don't have a flyer for them.
Yeah, they're having their event. Hold on, you don't have this?
Who in the Southwest?
Gorilla. She's having.
No. You're talking about the rally?
Yeah.
No, the rally's in August. The rally's the end of August.
Okay.
Yeah, the rally's at the end of August. So that's
Okay.
let me see if this is hers.
Yes.
Yes. Wait a minute. I don't
Yes,
see your logo on there.
It is on there. I'm
Where?
sponsoring that. Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
I'm looking.
Okay. It's not on here.
We gotta call Grilla.
I'm
Grilla.
not worried about it.
Wait a minute. How come your logo's not on our flyer?
I don't
Now
know.
I'm upset. Now I'm jealous.
Okay.
How come your logo's not on Pocono Stocks flyer?
I can be on anybody's flyer. Just promote you.
Look here, Pocono Stock. See? Pocono
Okay.
Stock is in September.
Then send me this and I'll be on there.
It's actually, if you look at the flyer,
Yeah.
it's the 10th anniversary of the Jovi ride. Jovi was my son.
Oh, okay.
So this is
Okay.
the 10-year. This is the 10-year anniversary of his ride. We started his ride in 2015, and this
Okay.
year is his 10th year. So we do it every year in his memory. And
Okay.
then the ride is free. We don't charge any money for it, but any donations that are made, we give to pediatric cancer in his name.
Okay.
And then in the afternoon is the ride. And then Friday night, the night before, we have a pub crawl, which I thought the flyer was here. Don't tell my president. But we have a pub crawl Friday night where we're going to go through 5 bars down here on Main Street. And last year we did 6 bars and we had an amazing time. I think we started with like 30, 40 members. By the time we were at the end of the road, we had over 150 people out there.
Oh, okay.
And we just went from bar to bar to bar. And then afterwards, we walked back to the hotel. We had a bonfire. We made some soup. We sold beer. And we were just hanging out there all night. It was really, really fun. It was a lot of fun. So you need to come to that one, Larry.
Okay.
Mm.
And tell us where we need to be and we will come. Okay. We got a lot going on, at least this year.
I know. No, I know. You guys have a lot going on.
Well, no, this year they're doing school supplies 2
I
times.
remember we were talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're trying to put stuff together for some of the different chapters across the United States. I went today and bought a bunch of backpacks, school backpacks.
Nice.
So yeah. So if
Yeah.
anyone's out there and they're looking for backpacks for schools, you got to go to Menards. Okay. Go ask for the customer service person, someone, get a manager. And you got to go upstairs. They're hidden upstairs because they don't bring them back down until the next school year.
Oh,
So you
okay.
can buy them at
Okay.
50% off.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good to know. So we
Yeah.
here in Poconos, we work together with the Hogs at the
Okay.
Harley Davidson, and they do a backpack for the kids.
Okay.
And, we donate to them. So last year, I think we donated about 200, 250 backpacks, and we fill them. Like we put in, they give us a list of what they need, and we
Yeah.
fill them. We go with them to the Harley Davidson, and listen, they put out like 500-600 backpacks out there, and they donate them to all the grammar schools here in the Pocono area. So that's one of the things that we help them sponsor that.
So Heather, All-State representative, can they
Yes.
buy crayons for our school drives?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Huh?
He's just throwing that in
Absolutely.
there. He's just kind of throwing that gently in
Yeah.
there.
Absolutely. So my agency owner, so just so you guys know, and State Farm's the same way. Every Allstate agency is independently owned and operated. So my agency owner in particular is really dedicated. We do sponsor a few different local things in our areas. We are big on keeping families covered, which provides like diapers and urology type supplies to folks. But Larry, absolutely talk to me. My Shada would love to participate in stuff like that. I'm exploring different things down here. So yeah, absolutely would love to give back.
It doesn't have to be big.
Nope,
You know
but
what I mean?
we're happy to.
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
Absolutely
we
not.
Yes.
both with our time and with financial support for that. So just let me know what you need and we'll sort something out.
Larry, I think you're in
Okay.
trouble.
Why? What? Hi,
Uh-oh.
Lawrence. I never got my card.
Debbie said she not. She never got.
have a card. Oh my God.
Oh my
Well,
goodness, Debbie.
No.
Debbie from Lama
And
Nation.
you've already got yours.
I did get mine. I have mine.
Oh, Ay, ay, ay. I'll call her first thing in the morning.
Nice. Debbie, he's gonna call you.
No, the lady that's supposed to send it out.
Oh.
Yes. David
Uh-oh.
took the cards and gave it to his assistant. You know what I mean? So I don't physically have the cards anymore.
Okay.
Ay,
All right,
ay,
Debbie, I got you. We're gonna keep
Yeah.
reminding
Oh
him.
my God. And I saw she was in my state, I think a couple of nights ago. And I was like, oh my God, did you send her? Yeah, it's taken care of. No, it's not. Debbie, thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, let me go through a couple more of these. Hold on.
Okay.
Lama Middletown is also having a bike night on July 19th at their new Mid City Clubhouse. That is in Greenwood Lake, New York. So, guys, July 19th, 12 to 5, come out and support Lama Middletown. Lama Law in Fort Sill, they're having a poker run August 2nd. $1,000 to the high hand, $400 to the low hand. 50-50 raffles. Registration starts at 9 a.m. First bike out at 10 a.m. Last bike in at 2 p.m. Okay, that's
Nice.
different. That's different. I never seen it put out that way, but that's good to know. Guys, this is my ride. I'm coordinating this ride, Larry.
Dama.
I have a Dama ride. It's a female rider ride, but because
Okay.
we have the majority of Damas, it's a Dama ride. So what
Got it.
we're doing is Friday night we have a meet and greet here at the happy hour. We're gonna have all the ladies come out on Friday. There's some ladies coming from Florida, from Georgia, from Buffalo, from Rochester. There's ladies coming from all over the Northeast and Southeast coming together. They're gonna come out Friday night. We're gonna meet at happy hour. We're gonna hang out, have a few drinks, chill. Then I booked some rooms here at the Red Roof Inn, so they can spend the night. And then Saturday morning from the Red Roof Inn, we are riding out to the Grand Canyon of PA. So
Nice.
all female riders, Damas. If you have spouses that ride, if you have associates that ride, any female rider is welcome to come on the ride. We are riding out. So Friday night for the meet and greet, it's open to everyone, guys, girls, anyone who wants to come. It's open to them. Saturday the ride is for female riders only. No cars on the caravan. If the spouses and associates want to meet us there, by all means. But on the ride, it's all female riders. So this is on Saturday, August 2nd, and we're coming back Sunday, August 3rd.
Nice.
Because, we ride our own. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe, Larry, you can come to the meeting game, but you can't ride.
Okay. Okay. That's okay.
You can just hang out with us Friday night, and then Saturday will be like this.
Yeah. Peace out.
Saturday,
Heather,
sorry, Larry, you can't come.
Heather,
It's funny
will you
because
Huh?
this past
Okay.
weekend we were at Harrisburg. We went to Harrisburg's event, and there was people talking about the ride. So there was a few girls. They were like, "Oh, we're coming. We're gonna be there Friday." And the husbands were like, "Can we come?" And I said, "Sure," to the meet and greet. And they're like, "But don't you need road captains?" We have female road captains. "But don't you need sergeants?" We have female sergeants. We got this. We got this. You can pick up your wife on Sunday.
There you go. So, Heather, are you available to do other interviews like this in the future? Or
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I would love to.
Okay.
Yeah, happy to. I'm so grateful and happy to be able to be here tonight. Thank you so much for the time. And yeah, anytime. I'm
You absolutely
Definitely.
gave everyone great information. You had a lot of feedback. There was a lot of positive feedback. So you did, this was a very good session to have.
Thank you. But yeah, happy whenever. Just let me know, and we'll be glad to participate for things for this and anything else like that I could be useful in.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Larry, you got to come to Poconos. When you coming to
Whatever
Poconos?
you want. Whatever you want. Just tell me what to do.
You got to come September 20th. No, yeah, 20th. So you come to the Friday night. You come to the meet and greet. Well, it's
Okay.
not a meet and greet. It's a pub crawl. The 19th and the 20th is Pocono stock. So you got to come
Okay.
and hang out with us that weekend.
I
Heather,
will-
you can come too. You ride.
Okay.
I know.
will
I'm,
talk to Jeannie, and we will be there.
Where do you live, Heather?
I live now in almost southern Illinois. It is the middle of the
You can
state,
come
but
out here with
almost southern.
Taino and them. They're Nancy and Heather are coming to do the Dama ride. So and you can come out with them to the Dama ride, and you can come out for Pocono Stock as well.
I would love that. We're gonna go. We're actually gonna be in Sturgis. I was just looking, and I know Larry's gonna be there because we're doing the medicine wheel ride. That weekend. So unfortunately, otherwise, I was like, yeah, man, the Dahmer ride sounds like a lot of fun. But
So that
perhaps
weekend,
September. Yeah.
that weekend, which I have to get his flyers. I'm gonna see if I can download his flyers today, because that same weekend is the men's North meets South. So the men's have been doing it for about, I think, 4 years now, and I don't know why he hasn't sent me the stuff, but they've been doing it for about 4 years. They do the North meets South. So the guys from up here meet with the guys from the down south. They meet halfway in the middle, and they go riding. They go out to like Tail of the Dragon and in Tennessee, and they spend the whole weekend out there. So I said, all right, well, the guys are gonna be gone. Let's do the girls. Let's do the ladies. So we
Yeah.
I picked the same weekend, so everybody has something to do that weekend.
I love that.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
so I want you guys to come out here for Pocono Stop. That's in September.
Okay.
Yeah, you said the 19th and 20th, right?
Yes, 19th and 20th.
Very
It's
cool.
gonna be fun. It was fun last year. It's gonna be fun. Our event is always a good event. It's one of the biggest events of the year. Not that I'm bragging, but it is.
You're like,
Listen, our event has become so big that people leave the hotel booking their room for the next year.
wow,
So that
that's amazing.
they make sure that they don't miss it. Yeah.
Mhm.
We've been doing it for a long time. And so many people are so loyal to me, and they come out for the Jovi ride, and every year. So every year I try to give back a little something. Like last year I did headbands that said Team Jovi. The year before I did where's my cancer ribbon? I have a cancer. I don't know if you can see it, but see, this is my patch for Team Jovi. I don't know if you can see it too well.
Yeah.
The same. Same. So every year I try to do something different, and I give back to all the riders. One year we did yellow flags, in honor of pediatric cancer. So I have a lot of people that are faithful to it and that are loyal to it, and they come out for the ride. And they can be drinking the night before, and they make sure to sober up and be ready for that ride. And they do it. We've had close to 150 bikes at a time.
That's amazing. Fantastic.
Yeah, so hopefully this year you guys can make it. And maybe I'll get Larry on my flyer.
Okay.
That's just a little, ding, ding, ding. Wait a minute.
I'm sure that will be arranged. Promise me. I can promise you that. Yes.
Thank you.
So
Well, guys, it's 8:00.
Yes.
So we are done with our hour, but I want to thank you both for being here, and I will
it's
welcome
been
you
a
guys back
pleasure.
anytime. I'm hoping that this show gave a lot of people a lot of good information, and if we do get feedback from anyone, I will absolutely send it to you guys. I put your email out there, so hopefully people will reach out to you, for more information.
Awesome.
But thank you. I thank you for all the information you gave us today. Thank you,
My
Larry.
pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for putting this together, Larry.
Hey, it's all about educating the rider. You know how I feel about that.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
We have to take care of
100%.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that, because I'm big on safety. That's like that's my thing. So I'm not a newbie, but I am a newer rider. I started riding 2018, 2019, at an older age. So we're more careful than when kids are riding 18, 19, 20 years old,
Yeah.
So I went through the class, and I did, I took all like the proper steps. But then you have people who ride 10, 20 years, and they forget the safety portion of it.
Sure.
They want to be out there, and they're like, oh, I can do this. I've done it for years. I've done it this way for years. It doesn't mean you're doing it right. You should always take that extra step and, be a little bit more cautious. So
Mhm.
I'm grateful to you guys for coming out here and, sharing all your information with us. Thank you,
Thank you
Larry.
again. Yeah,
Yes,
thank you
thank you
so
so
much
much.
for having me and for putting this together. It's amazing.
Yes,
So thanks.
absolutely. And I look forward to meeting you in person.
Yes.
I I met Larry in person, and he was stalking me. He was international stalking me. I'm kidding. We had a good time, didn't we, Larry?
Yep.
We had a good time.
Yeah.
We had a really great time. Every time I would go somewhere, I'm like, "You're here again. You must be stalking me."
Mm-hmm.
No, but it was. I loved meeting you because I know we had spoken for a long time, and we never got to meet in person. So, to me, it was great meeting you there too.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys.
Well, thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Yeah. We will definitely do it again. We'll get Taino on board too, so you guys can hear him talking.
Okay.
That's your president, right?
Yep.
You know how much he can talk, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, guys, thank you again. Thank you for being here. All your knowledge and all your information.
All right.
And
My
guys, we are 8:05. We are done with tonight's show. And remember, this is who we are. This is how we live. And this is how we ride. There you go, Larry. Now, I'm going to end this and I'm going to play the video. And every time I try to end it, it doesn't work.
Yeah. Is Lama in the building or what? Latin American Motorcycle Association, put your hands up, make some noise for your boy. Kenny Black, the music machine. What up, bro? DJ Rala, Lama. You already know Mr. Northeast is in the building. Let's go, Lama. What? Put them hands up. I want to see L's in the air right now. Put your L's up. Put your L's up. Lama worldwide. Let's go. L's up. Everybody L's up. Everybody L's up. Lama. Let's go. Yeah. Come on. Let's go. From the humble start in Humble Park. 1977 it all began. What? One man, one mission, one dream. That's right. Lama International worldwide. They said it couldn't happen. They said it couldn't be done. 40 years later, we still